Hello everyone, I'm George from Ireland, so welcome back to my channel. So this is about Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol because, well, better to explain what it is, but the UK is wanting it changed. You will know that at the end of January 2020, the United Kingdom officially withdrew from the European Union. The Republic of Ireland were obviously still in the EU. We're the most pro-Europhile member state. Northern Ireland is a portion of the UK, but it's adjacent to the Republic of Ireland, is the UK's only land border. And to make it even more complicated, most people, 56% of people in Northern Ireland, voted Remain, as in they wanted to stay within the European Union. But this is a vote for the United Kingdom in its entirety. And the UK result, 52% leave, was very close to the English result, 53% leave. Of course, it would be because the English are 83% of the population of the UK. The United Kingdom was unhappy with this protocol that was negotiated, and you might say, well, that's the UK's stupid fault for agreeing it then. What was your alternative, to leave without any deal about Northern Ireland trade? But although Northern Ireland is still part of the UK, for trade purposes, Northern Ireland is part of the European Union. So goods going from Great Britain to Northern Ireland have to be inspected when they come in, which has obviously caused some hiccups and some delays and things like that. So the UK is dissatisfied with this, say this is too much of a restraint of trade, it's unnecessary hassle. But, Brexit was always going to have a few downsides. Now, almost everyone in Northern Ireland wanted there to be a porous border with the Republic of Ireland. It's very convenient if you're going back and forth and not being stopped and checked. Obviously, in the Troubles, we had to do that because there were terrorists, loyalists and Republican trying to kill people all over the place. The security force on both sides of the border had to do that. And if you go back to before 1968, before the Troubles, we'd had that just for sort of customs purposes, taxing goods going back and forth, because they had different regulations and different tariffs on either side of the border. But anyway, the UK is unhappy with the situation. And notably, even Unionists wanted it to be an open border, there to be minimal checks. The United Kingdom wants to renegotiate it. The European Union said, no way. They're stonewalling on this one. Of course, they're entitled to stick to the deal. I don't think there's any law saying a country cannot withdraw from a treaty. The United States has done so several times under Donald Trump, but I think it's a bad idea and set a precedent. If the United Kingdom breaks a treaty, other countries are going to break treaties even more. So the European Union said, okay, we'll meet you halfway, we'll allow this to operate in a more flexible manner. The Taoiseach, that's the Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland, Leo Varadkar, said if the UK withdraws unilaterally, then the European Union will have to hit back. So remember, the First Minister of Northern Ireland is Paul Givan. He's a Democratic Unionist Party politician. He's only been in that office for a couple of months. Michelle O'Neill is the Deputy First Minister, and she's the leader of Sinn Féin in the north, which is the main nationalist party there. So Sinn Féin definitely doesn't want Article 16 to be abandoned. But there's been this increasingly tense rhetoric, but I'd like to see a détente. And also comes hard on the heels of dispute between the UK and France about various issues about fisheries, also about illegal immigrants massing in France at Sangatte, the jungle camp, trying to cross illegally into the United Kingdom. Why would they be leaving France and going to the UK? And they're asylum seekers, they could seek asylum in France. Why would they cross a dozen safe countries to come to the UK? Now, it might be the UK's silly fault for not having compulsory ID cards. Every country in Europe, with the exception of the Republic of Ireland, has compulsory ID cards. It's very easy to identify someone is legal or illegal in the country and indeed identify that person. The UK doesn't have that, though it has been considered in the 90s under Michael Howard, under the Labour government around about 2006, and neither of them implemented it in the end. And the Liberal Democrat Conservative coalition said, no way, no moves towards it. So there's a soft border in Ireland, and not many people want it to go hard. Because then goods in Northern Ireland would not necessarily conform to EU regulations and tariffs, and then have to be checked, check every car, every lorry going across. and that would obviously lead to snarl-ups and be kind of annoying. So the European Union said that they will go easy on some of these inspections when they're trying to verify that everything there is in consonance with their regulations. So although it's not a satisfactory situation with the United Kingdom, it'd be much better to accept this situation than possibly make things much worse. So the United Kingdom wants a major overhaul of the way Article 16 operates. It might suspend Article 16 unilaterally. Now, Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, he's the leader of the DUP. He's not Deputy First Minister of Northern. No, he's not First Minister of Northern Ireland. Said that changing this is probably not going to happen, and he's right. So that's it. Nobody wants a trade war. Would like relations to be cordial and trade to go on smoothly. Now, I once met Dr. Varadkar, because he is a medical man. That was, my God, that was in 2000, it was 20 years ago. And the only conversation I ever had about him, bizarrely, was about the euro. And he was saying, I can understand why the United Kingdom wants to join it because, it's had the pound sterling for a very, very long time. Republic of Ireland, we've only had our own currency really since 1973. I know it had the Irish pound, but it was exactly the same value as the pound sterling. And pound sterlings were accepted in the Irish Republic until 73. And we follow the interest rate set by the Bank of England, even though we were not part of the UK at all after 1921. So. But the Republic of Ireland, there was a narrow majority in favour of abandoning the punt, the Irish pound, and adopting the euro as our currency. And really, nobody's looking back, even in the dark days of, the credit crunch when Nama land. I spoke to Eamon Gilmore, our Taoiseach at the time, about it. A Labour man, he said, no, the euro is a currency. That's it. Absolutely no chance will change. Leo Varadkar has rightly warned the United Kingdom it will be an act of the greatest unwisdom to trigger Article 16. And so I wish they could sort of dial down the rhetoric. And partly in France, I would suspect it's partly for domestic political reasons, seeing to be hammering le roast beef goes down well. They like to see the Anglo-Saxons hammered a bit. There could be more trade barriers, obviously not just in Northern Ireland, to the UK as a whole, if Article 16 is triggered, and that would obviously be bad for the United Kingdom. We'd have shortages of goods. There are a few teething problems to do with Brexit, not enough lorry drivers and things like that. And as I said, there's an easy solution to that, which is to simply allow self-driving vehicles. So that is my penny's worth on what's this dispute with regard to commerce in Northern Ireland. And the situation is so much, much better than during my adolescence, when, there's no deaths related to any political dispute for years at a time, when there used to be obviously several a week in my adolescence. So thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please keep those donations coming to PayPal, and I'll give you acknowledgement by name if you wish for doing so. Thank you from British Pakistani Atheist. I'm glad you found it informative. So remember, I do online lessons in history, politics, religious studies, citizenship, English language, English literature, English as a foreign language, life in the UK test, geography, things like that. Obviously maths and science if you're very low level, elocution, debating, interview practice, and I help you with theses, dissertations and essays, and I'm a tour guide in London. All right, I'll be signing off now. Goodbye, everyone.